I don't care if you was waiting on that last airbender all night. If you up, smash that like button. Welcome to Black and the Black Times Infinity. I'm your host, Cthulhu's Prodigy, coming to you live and direct from the Vista Smoke Me Out fam with all the dank shit. On my left, Kronos.
Just watch Shogun. You gotta do it. Just saying. High recommendation.
What is it? Where do I find Shogun again?
It's on Hulu, but it's on FX. And I was very confused when I was watching it because I thought FX was like kind of like a not PG, but I didn't think they showed like dank shit. But there's titties, there's people horribly dying. So yeah, I was quite surprised watching the show. So like the people were saying like it's probably the next Game of Thrones. It's warranted at this point, to be honest. I like that. I guess we're just gonna go right into it, or we're gonna do the normal.
Yeah. No, fuck it.
Sorry.
You already started. Let's go.
I did already start it, so we're not doing the normal intro. Sorry. We'll talk about it later. First in chat, Killer Frost. So what's going on, fam? So yeah, I like that they went to a place where I didn't think that many people would be like accustomed to is like subtitles. So like when they're in Japan and they're speaking fucking Japanese and they're subtitles, there's like no getting around it. So it's like right away, like we're not shying away from this is Japan and they speak Japanese in Japan and fuck those barbarian white people. So yeah, I'm used to like reading subtitles anyway, so I was fine. Yeah. But yeah, maybe there is probably a dub version of it, but I hope there isn't.
What like century is it?
I want to say the 1600s.
Okay.
Like the late 1600s, I want to say. I can probably look it up, but I'm pretty sure it's the late 1600s.
Okay.
Because yeah, I felt like it was like it was Portugal was still people were still finding the new world. You know, and so like they already have like when they set it up, like basically there is so like Christianity is already in Japan, so you already know they're already underneath like some of the white folks' influence, the European influence, and so there is some trade, but there's very little trade with Europe, and so that kind of sets it up, and they already know about they already don't like white people in general, but there are like some what do you call those people, like the priests that do missionaries. There's missionaries in Japan. Okay. Yeah, and there's some Japanese Christians that are already there. So, and you know what's funny? This is what's even funnier about this. So like, there's like people in the show that are from Europe that they say they're Portuguese, but they're speaking English, which is funny because like, but the Japanese people they speak Japanese, and there's another guy who's a Spaniard and he speaks in Spanish. So.
Well, I mean, if you look at throughout the history of Hollywood, how many people have actors pretended to be Chinese, but they've been Korean or Japanese or Vietnamese for a long time?
I feel like in this one, they kept it like real to the point. Like they didn't really cut corners or anything. Hold on, let me speak about the beer I'm going to drink real quick. It's called Colombiana. It's a 12% Imperial Stout with coconut and cherries, so I'm surprised. I thought this. Oh, it's 2. I was like, why is this the big ass thing? It's like literally 2 fucking tiny beers.
Oh, okay, yeah,
not tiny, but it's like
regular
normal size. Yeah, but I mean it's 12%, so yeah. So yeah, the show definitely has like in the first episode, it has one of the most terrible deaths for any person to have ever gone through, and I'm sure it's happened throughout history, but it's like it's really fucking bad. It's like basically it takes a guy a really fucking long time to die. So and there's like this whole like village like listening to this dude screaming for his life, begging for his life, and he's just slowly dying.
God damn. Now, I don't know how Hulu does. I don't watch a whole lot of Hulu originals. Is it?
So like, it's FX.
Okay. Oh, sorry.
So it's just
FX.
Yeah.
But is it like episodic? Like they've only had a few episodes out, or did they release the whole thing?
I don't know. I watched the first one so far. Okay. And yeah, I was highly entertained. I'll put it that way.
I'm gonna check that shit out.
You got a guy cucking himself. I'm just saying.
Okay. I'm gonna fuck with it. I've heard nothing but great things. It has great reviews on Rotten Tomatoes and all of that. So I'll fuck with it. Good. I trust the reviews. For those asking, maybe in the chat or whatever, Old Ninja may join, he may not. Blue is in the win. Stitch is out saving cities, but we're here for you, goddammit.
We are here. Sorry, we're a little bit late. We're trying to wait. We're waiting for old Ninja, but he's in the wind, so I don't know where he's at. And Blue's kid is sick, so
yeah.
We'll
work it out. So goddamn it, there's so much fucking shit going on. Sorry, I was not able to join last fucking week, but I will say this just to start it all fucking off. I have not played Helldivers yet. Killer Frost, if you're in the goddamn chat, I'm getting it this weekend. Everybody and their mamas has been like, yo, you like PvE. Why the fuck aren't you playing Helldivers? What's wrong with you? You know? How could you? And then it's only like $40. Like, what are you doing? You know what I mean? So
well, I talked about it like 2 years ago when it first got announced, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it was a while ago. Like when it first, I was like, this looks interesting, and then it kind of fell off for a little while, and then it came out, and I'm living in a new place where like my Wi-Fi right where I am isn't great, and I have a gig internet, but it's only gig down. It's like 100 meg up. So like my online experience is kind of shitty. So I'm not playing any games online right now. But I just ordered a new internet. I actually got them to like literally fucking get the fiber lines over here for a company called Wired. I called them up. I was like, hey, like I don't like Cox. Like, let's get your shit out here because it's like you can go up to like 5 gigs both ways. So I'm gonna do 2 gigs both ways, and then once I do that, I'll run a hard line up here, and then I'll buy the game and start playing it. So I'm looking forward to it. Looks like my daughter wants to join. You want her to join?
Sure, why the hell not?
Right.
Let's go.
That's what the ding was. So if anybody else heard it. Give me a second. Let me pull her in here. So yeah, I mean, what did you watch any like the previews or anything like that?
I didn't watch I saw some trailers for it. It looked interesting. Maybe I played even the first one. Wasn't that a PS3 game? Helldivers 1?
I thought it was on the PSP or PS Vita. Maybe. I thought it was. Let me look it up.
Fact check my ass because I can't remember, but it's broken all these fucking records on Steam and all this other shit, like in terms of concurrent players, more than GTA 5 and like monster numbers, more than Fortnite and Modern Warfare. I'm like, holy shit, I can't ignore it.
It wasn't the Vita, so it was on the PS4, PS3, PS Vita, and Windows. So it came out in 2015, the first one.
Yeah. So
and it's basically it's like Starship Troopers. So
yeah, exactly.
Hey, what's going on?
Hey there. Now what? I'm sorry. What do I call you here?
I mean, her name is on there. She didn't edit it out. It's all good.
Okay.
Everybody knows her government name now.
Oh yeah, you guys stopped using Zoom, so it doesn't auto.
We never use Zoom.
There was at one point where my name didn't come up. So.
It was I was using the Streamlabs thing. So yeah, the audio on there is always like sketchy. So
is that a raccoon?
Yes. Huh? She has a pet raccoon.
I thought that was a raccoon. Yeah. Like, wait a minute.
Close enough. He acts like it. If he had opposable thumbs, I wouldn't have him at this point. Even though I'm like oddly terrified of raccoons. No, I accidentally napped super fucking hard, and there's no shot in hell I'm going to sleep anytime soon.
All right.
I'm crocheting right now, and cats and yarn.
There you go.
All right.
Everybody should be deathly afraid of raccoons, and things have rabies. Even if they don't have rabies, they have rabies.
So, funny enough, people think that possums have the same fucking mentality with possums.
I was gonna say the same thing.
But possums can't get rabies.
They can't, but they can't. But they look like demon like rats. They're never gonna get even though they eat ticks and they do all this really good things. It doesn't matter if you look like you're a fucking devil spawn. So
they're also marsupials.
Yeah.
Yes, but it's the tail with those goddamn things.
Yeah, and they hiss.
The hissing, the tail. That tail, it's just a giant rat. I don't care what anybody says.
Like in theory, I love possums. Pretty Privilege did not have anything to do with them because, like, they are, like, super responsible for Lyme disease not being nearly as big as it is because they eat thousands of ticks a day.
Mm-hmm.
I got a lot of animal facts up in this noggin. Like, a
lot. That's good.
Yeah.
That's good shit. I just know to give me the heebie-jeebies. So that's what I know.
Oh, yeah. Big dumpsters aren't my shit. For a reason.
So we were initially talking about the Starship Trooper level phenomenon that is Helldivers 2 taking over the world. I don't even know if you're a PC gamer, Xbox, but I don't know. Do you play games at all anymore, Lily?
So mostly no. And
Okay.
I never play multiplayer games. I can't. But like the extent of my gaming is Minecraft, Cult of Lamb.
It's a great game, by
which
the way.
I love Cult of Lamb.
Yeah.
I love it so much.
I got it on my Steam Deck.
And do you guys remember Fran Bow?
I don't know that.
Does sound familiar.
Oh my god, it's like a small. I guess it would be an indie game, but it's fucking weird.
It's
not short for Fran Butler, right?
No.
Okay.
Right, our Fran Drescher is like an annoying voice. that was more Peter Griffin than Fran Drescher. Sorry.
Peter.
No, Fran Bow is.
I know. Yeah, I've seen you. Yeah, this is a creepy game.
Yeah, it's about a little girl who, like, her parents were kind of like demon hunters, and they basically come back. The demons come back and end up killing her parents, and nobody believes this little girl, so she gets sent to a psychiatric ward. And so they give her a bunch of medication to basically, get rid of the hallucinations, which are actually there. And this medication actually transports her in between two different realms.
Mm-hmm.
So she's on this like super long journey just to find her fucking cat. She's in like she turns into a tree person at one point.
Cat people.
The fuck?
She's like 6, and it's
is
the
this
only
top down. Is it first person? What is it?
Point and click. I think.
It's sort of like Myst.
Oh yeah.
Myst.
Okay, I got you.
Lily doesn't, but you do.
I do.
This was way before your time. This game came out actually on my birthday in 2015.
Oh, wow. Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
But yeah, I loved Fran Bow so much. That it was such a hard game to like play and not look up the answers to everything. Cause like you had to do stuff in certain orders and like kind of just randomly click everywhere to find where things were.
Yeah,
like Myst.
It was annoying as hell, but like the story was so good in the game.
That's cool. Well, I will say this. I got to rewind just a little bit because I didn't get a chance to mention it last week, so bear with me. I was not a big fan of roguelike games at all.
Here we go. Yeah.
Like, I tried with Returnal. I tried with Hades. There was a couple others that like everybody raved about. Oh my God, they're so great. And I kept dipping my toe in and it just felt like scraping my genitals on a cheese grater. What I will say is Valhalla is the clear exception. God of War Ragnarok Valhalla. God damn, do I fucking love that one. I might even, this sounds like blasphemy, I may even like it more than the base 2018 or Ragnarok game. Just on its own, it got its hooks into me. You just want to keep playing. And I know, Kronos, you were playing it for like the first month or two. You kept saying it was great. And I was like, okay, yeah, I'm going to try it. I finally did. I couldn't put it down. I still want to do another run on there.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
It's a great game, and it really advances the story. It's like what there was probably like very few complaints about like the latest God of War, games. But like one of the few ones was that there was like they didn't really do a really good job of like bridging the old Kratos to the young Kratos to the older Kratos.
Mm-hmm.
And this one they're just like, all right, we'll do all that shit. You want old enemies? We got you. You want to have like, you want to bring Helios back even though you decapitated him and he's going to like troll you the whole time? We got you. You want to bring back, like they brought back so many other cool things. And like, they really went into like it really is Kratos goes to therapy, right?
Yes.
Because he's like, he has to really atone for the things that he's done. And they're like really horrific things. And they go through like all of that. And I thought it was so expertly done for a roguelike game. I don't know if that can be really duplicated in another game. You know.
What I loved the most was it just felt like they gave you so many perks for just playing it that would be permanent perks for your next run.
Yeah.
And maybe that's part of other roguelike games when you get to a later stage, but it felt like this one did it right off the bat, which I loved. And the other ones, they never got its hooks into me because they didn't give me that like dangling carrot at jump.
So the other ones do, especially what was the one that I was playing? Hades does that.
Every time I tried, I couldn't get past like the first 2 or 3 areas. I didn't get into a boss or nothing.
It's the same thing in this one. Like, so I played, I left it on hard mode and I was getting my mollywopped until, I got enough resources to really, and then remembering how to play the game. That took a little bit too, because it's like I played a lot of other games since then, and like remembering like all the combos, like because you still keep the same base like abilities, but you're just like super scaled down to like the base Kratos. So, but you still get Dropnir. You have your Blades of Chaos, and of course the axe Leviathan, and all the other things that you unlocked. But if you can remember that 2 years later, good on you, but I couldn't.
Okay. Speaking of Blades of Chaos, have I shown you guys my orc swords that I got specifically because they look like the Blades of Chaos?
No, you have not.
Show them on the cast.
What you got?
They're in the other room.
Yeah, go ahead, grab.
Yeah, let's see this.
And what's crazy? So like I like Dropnir in like the normal game, but in this one, in the DLC, I use that shit religiously because I always found that I don't know, it seemed like it clicked in this game. And I'm always trying to get like the one where a kill gives you life back. And so I found that it was easier for me to get with Dropnir than the other 2 weapons. Like what was it? Go ahead.
My go-to, I flipped it around. Obviously, it depends on the enemy that I'm facing.
Yeah.
But whenever there was like range anything, I would immediately go, spear, throwing that spear and then doing that whole grenade, kind of slamming it to the ground and blowing it up. That was like my favorite thing for a long time. But close up, I like freezing people. Oh. With that axe.
Yeah, that's another thing too. Is like the different abilities. So yeah, like in the beginning, it was definitely Dropnir, but then after a while, I got used to using like the Blades of Chaos in ways I usually didn't, because I kept getting this perk where you swing it around and it would do shit, and I never used that in a normal game. And like once I got used to it, I was like, oh, this is like super useful. It does hella damage. So and like freezing your axe too, like it does like a lot of perks there too. So yeah, it definitely makes you play the game differently than you normally would because of the perks.
Yeah, the runic attacks and all that. All right, let's see it, Lily.
I have 2 of them and 2 sheaths, but I only felt like grabbing one.
Shit.
Ooh, very nice.
Yeah, so she's like, it is very...
obviously in... There we go.
Oh, there's a video.
It's really bad.
There we go.
Right now.
Sorry, your video dropped because of my shitty internet.
It's all right.
I can show it again.
There we go. Old Ninja's here.
There we go.
Nice.
Very cool.
There we go. Yeah.
And it doesn't help when you have a pretty much purely black background, but...
So how many villages have you pillaged by now? That's my question.
So, funny enough, the other day, I think it was like maybe a week ago, laying in bed, I thought someone walked into my house, and I was being burgled. I don't keep any guns in my house, but I have melee weapons. I'm ready for bed, and instantly terrified. First thing I grab is my fucking orc sword, because what else do I have? And so I'm walking like towards the front of my house in my bonnet, in like pajamas, wielding this fucking orc sword, ready to, not be burgled anymore, pretty much, just to find out that my cat was trying to fight another cat on the outside of the door, on the other side of the door.
Probably one of them damn raccoons.
No, it's another cat. It's I think she just had a litter of kittens somewhere because she no longer was pregnant. But she loves sitting on my front porch, which whatever. But yeah, scared the shit out of me.
Is your cat boy cat or girl cat?
Boy, but neutered since before I got him, and I got him at like, I think 4 weeks old.
Okay. You did the responsible Bob Barker thing.
Yeah. Old Ninja.
He was a barn cat.
Yeah.
Can you hear us, Old Ninja, too?
Yeah, I can hear you. I was just, I was sitting, it wouldn't let me join for like a good, cool minute. I was sitting there for like a few minutes. I'm like, what?
I mean, that's a minute, but this is like, we're 28 minutes into the podcast, but
I know, and I probably sat for like a good.
I'm just kidding. We're not that long.
Yeah, I was at a previous engagement which ran late, so I apologize for my tardiness.
Hookers and blow. Sometimes they, go over.
No comment.
You better not have been at one of them Diddy parties.
Yeah.
I'm grown and I can do what I want. And booty is mine. Yeah. It belongs to me.
He can no longer make the fart noise. It's just.
Oh, that's terrible.
Night whistles.
Yeah. Look, all I know is this. Industry rule number 4080. Record company people are shady. That's an old Lily. I know that's way before your time and shit, but goddamn, Diddy's been in the music industry for like 35 fucking years. Nobody defends him because this is some heinous shit.
I mean, and because he probably killed, Notorious B.I.G. So
yeah,
I mean, let's just be honest.
Eminem hinted it. Yeah, Eminem hinted that he might have had something to do with it. But
I can't even keep up with the amount of just allegations and smut coming out. Like it's dropping every day, like every hour on the hour, it's coming out.
Yeah. Nah, it's been out there. Just people are now revisiting accusations because, like, before any of this shit even happened, like I knew people that were talking about this a while ago, and they couldn't prove anything, but they're like, "No, he did that. No, this is what really happened." I'm like, "Were you even there?" Like, no, but like it is what it is. I mean, there's allegations. It says, I know he paid off Cassie. I don't know about the record producer. I have no idea what happened with him.
So I think that obviously leads to if there's allegations and like you had to pay somebody off to like not take it to trial, then I mean in my mind it's true. So like I wouldn't if somebody said I did something like that and I definitely didn't, then yeah, and especially if I got that much money, like we're going to court for a while. You know what I mean? But the fact that he was so quick to pay her off, like those are serious skeletons in his closet, and there's always been rumors about these sorts of things with excuse me, sorry, that was on the podcast.
That was
in somebody's earius. a whole bunch of people. I just burped it. Sorry about that. So yeah, it sucks. Like a lot of folks that are in that industry are just and this is the weird thing. Like it's 2024. Like it's okay to be gay. You know what I mean? Like I think society has moved on for a long time. I mean, obviously it's not like super mainstream.
Moved on.
I know, but I mean, I think that like, listen, if Lil Nas X can sell millions of records, then you'll be fine today coming out, being a rapper or doing whatever the fuck you want. And the fact that these people are closeted and like doing like really gross stuff that is not that I would say is not okay.
Yep.
Forcing dudes to do things and forcing women to do things and forcing people that are underage to do things, against their will. That's then you're a piece of shit. So, but if you just happen to be gay and a rapper, then just like come out and just be gay, like.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I completely agree with that.
Wait,
what?
We're talking about P. Diddy?
Yeah. Or Puff Daddy, or just Diddy now. So yeah.
It's Diddler.
Yeah.
More than likely.
Allegedly.
Allegedly. Yeah, he hid that shit real well.
Yeah.
Let me be clear. I spend so little time on most media, and the majority of the media that I do have is all like nerd shit, but not like your guys' nerd shit where it's like video games and relevant, more like mythology and animals. So
there you go.
mythology.
Well, you may have missed this, Lily, but he did have an entire man butler for a very long time. That all he would do is carry his umbrella and wear a bow tie and dance. That was it.
His name was the gentleman.
Farnsworth. What?
Was he attractive?
I don't know.
I don't judge dudes, so I don't have a barometer for this.
Yeah. All I'll say is there's a lot of high-profile R&B and rap men that allegedly either were coerced, forced, or consented, allegedly, to getting down with Diddy, maybe even prior to having pretty big fame. So this is just, there's a lot going on here.
Oh, numbers half the battle. G.I. Joe.
Right. Yeah. I mean, there's been a lot of debates about like an inner. I hate to sound conspiracy theory is, but like an inner cabal in the African American entertainment community about leading men that may or may not be gay, and Diddy's name has been thrown around a lot. To me, it's just kind of weird because I'm like, dude, this sounds very conspiracy theory, even though these allegations are very, I mean, to the individuals, they're very specific, but surrounding their allegations, there are a ton of potential revealing stories about what him and his son, his oldest son, have been doing.
Yeah, that's another key point I just want to point out here. We're talking about a man in his late 50s or 60s now, right?
Damn, no, he can't be 60, is he? No, he's probably in his mid to late 50s, I would say.
I would say 50s, but let's see.
Well, let's check right here. You keep going, and I will give you.
But not a spring chicken by any stretch of the fucking imagination. And
okay, literally mid 50s.
54. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
So
yeah.
So a quick comparison: Cassie is now 37, who he formerly dated when she was potentially 18, 19.
That's gross.
You do the math on yourself. Yeah. And then Usher, who is also an Atlanta artist who was hanging around with Puff Diddy, or P. Diddy, Puff Daddy, and who has some weird allegations, or not allegations towards him, but some weird potential. He could be a potential victim. Not sure. He hasn't voiced anything publicly, but Usher's 45, which makes that an 11-year difference.
So I'm not trying to go off on a tangent here, but with Usher, the other thing that's really weird is his mama was his manager for years and years and years. And the other thing that got me is he dated Chili from TLC when Usher was still a teenager. If you do that reverse math as well. So there's weird shit that goes on.
Well, there's like a super societal acceptance that, like, you know, a woman dating a man younger is like not frowned upon or not talked about like at all. But if a guy does it, it's fucked up. That it's fucked up anyway.
Well, but I think when a guy does it, it's like it's way more common, and I think.
But it's still fucked up when women do it too.
Oh yeah, it is. Don't get me wrong, but I think there's something about I don't know how to put it. You're right. It is a double standard. Like I'll put it that way. But I think that when men usually do it, it's coming from like a super place of power. I don't think that a lot of women in power date guys that are that much younger. It's usually like a teacher or some shit. You know what I mean? That's in like their
power, though.
That is his power, but it's not somebody that has like millions of dollars. You know what I mean? Sure. Or like a differential of like $100,000 in the.
It's not financial power, but it's still I'm your superior.
Oh, no, I get it. It's totally like a non-consensual situation, even though, you know, with a guy or a boy at that point might want it, but it's not consensual, in my opinion. Yeah. So
there's some weird shit going on. Look, everybody, with all the allegations, I would say with Diddy, I've yet to find a lot of high-profile people defending him, which is also which is also kind of more telling. Like,
especially black people. Somebody would have came up by now and been like, he ain't like that.
People who have known him for like 30, 40 years are like, hey, you know, you get what you deserve. And I'm like, oh, well, that tells me a whole lot. So,
yeah,
you know, it is what it is. Old Ninja, are you? I'm gonna go back to gaming real quick. Are you still? Are you playing any Helldivers? Or are you still on Suicide?
No, still on the Suicide Squad. Shout out to B-Boy Frost. We've been going extra hard on some Suicide Squad. We're waiting to link up with Cronus because there's some interesting shit going in. Well, multiplayer wise, I've actually gone back to a couple of older games like Monster Hunter World, a little bit of Star Wars Battlefront 2 from 2017. Reason being that literally in a couple weeks we're getting a remastered, revamped, whatever, basically another rehash of the two Battlefronts that came out in 2004 and 2005, respectively.
Yeah, and they're also doing like Dark. Was it Dark something?
Oh, Dark Forces, which is apparently already out. I guess it came out earlier this week.
Yeah, it looks.
I don't know if it's available on any of the consoles, but I know it's on Steam for sure.
It looks. It looks terrible. I'm just saying, even the remaster.
It looks lazy.
Like,
I mean,
it looks.
It's a Diddy game.
Yeah, I'm just like, could you not just like totally like remaster it? I mean, it looks like Star Wars Doom, which is what it was back then, but now it's just like
exactly what it was.
Yeah.
And, I mean, don't get me wrong. The game is great. It has a great story. So that story got revamped into Rogue One.
Well, wait, hold on. Is it it's a remaster?
No, it's
but not a remake.
No,
it's basically they just gave it like a nicer coat of paint.
Yeah, it's basically just a graphical upgrade. That's
more.
Like
that's
the
accurate.
game is same.
Yeah.
So when you play it, just like some of these other older games, you can tell that it is dated because the movement is not as like it's set up for mouse and keyboard, even though it was ported to consoles.
There's something right with that.
Yeah, but when you play with the controller, it does not behave the way a modern first-person shooter would behave. It has very wonky kind of controls, and you can tell. And then so on the Switch, I didn't realize this. The Switch has a 7-game Star Wars release. So basically everything from like 2000 to like 2005 or something. It's like 7 re-release games. I believe they probably have the same kind of issues. But it's like $30, I think, something cheap. The Battlefront re-release is 30. I think it's $30 to $40, and it's 2 games. So the thing now that even though the original had online support, this one supports up to 64 players on the consoles. So, and I believe possibly maybe it might even include the Switch as online players. So that's gonna be crazy. Platform. Yeah, so it's gonna be kind of crazy. I know a lot of people are hyped up. Like Kronos hinted again, I think a lot of people don't understand that it's an older game with possibly a new coat of paint. It may not be as awesome as you remember, like especially you young bucks that were like 14 or to 10 at that time.
Yeah, if you're a millennial, don't buy this game. If you're a millennial, like the only people that should be buying this game are like my age or older.
Yeah, like if you're like a collector, or like people, or if you never got a chance to play the game and it was like you've been looking for it, then I guess because I don't think you can really buy it off of maybe Steam, the original. I don't know, but if you're looking to relive your past when you were a kid, you might be kind of let down a little bit.
Yeah, those sorts of games don't age well. Like you need to go the route of like Doom. Right, so Doom was like the original. Well, not the original. Wolfenstein was like original FPS, but Doom was right after it, and both of those games got totally reimagined and they're modernized. And if you're not going that route, like nobody wants to go back to playing fucking Pong. You know what I mean? Yeah. So
Pong Pong in 4K.
Yeah, it's like nobody gives a shit about Pong in 4K. We're not doing that anymore. So.
Yeah, I mean, I don't understand. Like, literally, the 2017 one has most of what we want, even after the controversy. If you have an Xbox, it's free if you have Game Pass, pretty much. It was free on PlayStation Network. I got it on PlayStation Network for fucking free because I like the character of Iden Versio and I like the campaign. I beat it again. So I understand 64 players, but I'm pretty sure the 2017 Battlefront and the one before that, they both had 64 players, if I'm not mistaken. So it's going to be weird. I plan on getting it, though, because I do want to relive, because I'm older than, mostly everybody.
Older than
most of the world. Yeah, so I plan on and it's fairly cheap. And I think a lot of people, because I literally reinstalled the game and played it. And I don't think people were ready to play as like a 420p fucking Jedi in like 1080p graphics. It's going to be very weird.
But also, we're in a time period where people are used to like remakes of old games done really, really well. I mean, obviously, it drops in a few hours. Final Fantasy VII's Rebirth is about to, and the reviews are fucking outstanding. I mean, look, you got some Game of the Year reviews for that shit. We had last year, Leon Kennedy and Resident Evil 4 was really good too. So, I mean, people are used to that kind of level,
Yeah, but people are also tired of remakes.
Go ahead, Lily. Sorry.
They need to rename Final Fantasy. How many finals has there been?
Final.
It was the crazy thing was that up until like Final Fantasy X, right?
There's 10 at least.
No, there's way more than 10.
No,
but up until 10,
17.
up until 10, there were always like self-contained stories. That's why it's called the Final Fantasy, because it was like the Final Fantasy of like that certain like story. But after 10, they had like 10X, they had X2 and like shit like that. But it's supposed to be like one self-contained story. That's why I call it Final. So
is there a beginning fantasy?
Yeah, when you first get the game, and they're awesome.
You're already starting in the Final Fantasy. Is there a start to these fantasies? You only see the end of it.
I mean, you're not wrong.
It's an awful title. It's like like the first two, okay. That's fine. But what is there, like 20 at this point?
Yeah, there's a lot.
Might be more.
Yeah, there's more than 20.
Might be more.
Yeah.
I think there's 21 total count. I think someone counted. I think 21 is the final count.
There's been the same amount of Final Fantasies as years that I've been alive. It's not a final anymore.
There's been what?
There's the same amount of Final Fantasies as years have been
alive.
Yeah,
there's actually more because there's like tactics and shit like that. So
that's true.
I'm pretty sure there's probably like 35 of them. To be honest.
Damn, that's all bad.
I mean, you gotta give these horny weebs something. I mean, they want to see all forms of Tifa. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, and then when they find out, they end up nerfing it and like putting more clothes on her, and then everything gets bad. And I laugh. Ha ha ha.
Oh, I mean, just don't get me wrong. I get it, but then I'm like, God damn, weebs.
Really? Yeah, I think it's hilarious. Hilarious.
They still, you know what they need to do? They still need to make the greatest Final Fantasy game. I will say it until the end of my time. I will say, and then after that, you hear it on the podcast. So until this podcast ends, you'll hear this. I'll keep saying it. Final Fantasy VI is the best Final Fantasy of all fucking time. It's not even arguable. If
they need to remake it. Then.
They've been talking about it, but like one of the guys that like makes the Final Fantasy games, he said that it would take them. I think he said it was like 20 years. To make the game to like modern, I'm like, that seems really excessive, sir.
Yeah, I saw that too. I'm like, that doesn't make sense. 10 years, maybe. I mean, I CD Projekt Red, but
it is. But the thing though is like so that game is it's bigger than Final Fantasy VII. I know it doesn't. I know it doesn't make sense, like because it was on fucking Super Nintendo, but it's a bigger game because like it spans like the fucking world, and. And you go to way different places. You go to different continents. There's way more characters in the game, and they all have like really engrossed backstories. But yeah, it was just it was the one that came out before 7. So everybody just the reason why 7 the main reason why 7 was big is because of like the graphical upgrade, which is legit. I mean, because like back in the day, if you look at the old Final Fantasy 7 now, it looks like dog shit. But back then, it was like, oh my god, this is the fucking best thing ever. And they had like, the FMVs, the full motion videos was like a new thing because that was introduced with CD-ROMs on a console, which was amazing. And the music wasn't MIDI music anymore. You know, it was like legit music. Even though I don't got a problem with MIDI music. Like, look at the old listen to the old music from Final Fantasy VI, and even the other ones. They were like really good. But it was mainly just technological upgrades is the reason why 7 is what everybody's favorite, or they literally just weren't old enough to play 6. So
could be. Yeah, I want them to remake a whole bunch of them. Do like Capcom did with Resident Evil. Like, remake the good ones. You know, people come flocking.
Yeah, it has to be good. That's the problem. And then if not, it's fucking shit. I mean, I don't mind new IPs. I feel like there's a shit ton of IPs that could be done. Also, like we talked about this like months ago, actually late last year, but books. There's a shit ton of books that aren't movies that someone gets the license, they can turn into a really great gaming series.
That's a good point.
There's a bunch of shit out there that could work out pretty well, and I think because the medium might be expensive or like hard to adapt or really long to adapt, they don't do it. But I mean, I feel like just a bunch of remakes will end up running its course a little too quick.
It is expensive. I mean, let's call it what it is. It's expensive and it's kind of risky. I mean, there's been many a big studio that's had hundreds of millions of dollars in certain games, and certain games have fucking flopped. You know, so like even with big IPs, some haven't done well. I mean, you know, we've talked about them on the show for years and years and years. So nothing's a fucking guarantee. I mean, like with video games, you got to show and prove. And gamers are real quick to critique, like if there's bugs, if there's shitty dialogue, if there's bad gameplay that's repetitive, boring, whatever the fuck it is, you know, shitty live service bullshit sometimes, you know, or just a bad fucking controls or whatever it is. If you don't bring your A fucking game, you can go bankrupt as a studio real fast.
Oh, 100%. We literally saw that this year.
Yeah.
We've seen that earlier this year. But I mean, it just depends. And there's other things. There are a shit ton of franchises that kind of just fell off, where people were waiting for sequels.
Where the fuck is Killzone? Where's Killzone?
Killzone.
Where's Resistance? Yeah, there's another one. Yeah.
Where's Star Fox?
Yeah.
There's been a Star Fox in a long fucking time. Shit. And the last one was actually pretty okay.
Infamous.
Yeah.
You know, I mean,
people are arguing about even Battlefront 3. They're like, there could have been a Battlefront 3. Like, where's that at?
Yeah.
Like, you know, that's just kind of not there. There's actually a game. I know the studio folded, but I was hoping like someone could have bought the license or bought the property, bought the code. It's a racing game called Blur. Like,
Blur was great.
Yeah, it's basically real world Mario Kart.
Yeah.
So that could have been an excellent franchise, excellent, and no one bought it. No one picked it up. So it's gone. Same thing when Factor 5 folded. Like, no one picked up. I mean, we kind of got Star Wars Squadrons, but we could have had, like, more Rogue Squadrons. We didn't get any of that after they folded.
Yeah. Yeah. And certain shit just stays around fucking forever. Obviously, you got your Fortnite and your GTA 5s and shit where they just keep reinventing the online world. But it's hard. I mean, that takes a lot of fucking dedication and a whole team and squad making updates all the fucking time. And you have to have the player count to really support that shit. Yeah. Like Destiny. Remember how many Destiny fucking killers we've seen come and go?
Yeah, like Anthem.
Yeah, Anthem came and went. I mean, there's been quote unquote Destiny killers, and unfortunately, a lot of them have never really killed Destiny except for one that's like popped up recently.
I mean, yeah, Helldivers too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, I was amazed by Lily's needlework there. She was just going at it for a minute.
Okay.
I don't play video games.
No,
but
people are like talking about all these video games, and I'm like, I'm just sitting here making my blanket like an old lady.
No, it's all good. I used to crochet too. I used to do finger crochet. So
I can't do that. It hurts my hands so bad.
Oh yeah,
really?
Yeah.
I did like. Good.
Like certain stitches, like trying to be taught how to do a stitch is so difficult. Like this, I'm just like vibing with it. I have no idea what the fuck this is turning out. So
a beanie that turns into a blanket.
For my cousin's wedding, one of the wedding gifts that I got her, because I did all of the cake and stuff for her wedding, but I made her a wedding gift, and it was a beanbag octopus.
Oh shit!
That was filled with blankets.
Nice.
That was so much fun to make, because it was literally just a massive octopus that I filled with a bunch of blankets. So it would be a beanbag, or I guess kind of like a blanket bag. And then, if you got cold, you can just, take the blankets.
Good shit. Nice.
Man. There's a bunch of shit on here. I kind of want to rapid fire. We've had this on here for a minute. At the time, it was big news. I'm pretty sure some people have stopped kind of talking about shit. Really quickly, I know we talked about this because this was Stitch's idea. He brought this up, and I was like, what the fuck are you talking about? And it was a documentary that he's like, we all should watch this because Bay Area history. And I was like, what the fuck? And I watched it. Has anybody else besides me and Stitch isn't here? Has anybody else watched American Nightmare on Netflix?
That's the true crime one. I have not seen it, but I hear good things.
Yeah, it's only 3 episodes. If nobody else has seen it, I'm not going to talk about it, but it's definitely worth. It's only 3 episodes. They're about an hour per episode.
Is this about the Zodiac Killer?
No, it's a much more recent situation. I think it started in 2015.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And it's a very crazy. It's like the when it happened, they compared the situation to a real life Gone Girl, and like the end has a situation that you were not ready for. So it was crazy.
I fuck with true crime quite a bit of late, so I'm gonna see it.
Yeah, I was pretty skeptical because like Stitch was like, you don't understand, you should watch this. It's Bay Area history. And I watched it, and it flows out like pretty typical, and then like you get to episode 2 and it flips the script, and then episode 3 is like the conclusion, and you're not ready for the conclusion. It was just like, what the fuck, like holy shit. Like you see how, especially I guess current day law enforcement, how they dropped the ball in current crimes, and how some things could have been resolved or I guess further pursued. And I kind of get where they're coming from, but you got to watch the series to fully understand.
Only old fucks like us will say that's current day. We got Lily on here, and you're talking about 2015. She's like, "What? That's not current day."
That's before Brown Day. I don't remember any of that
shit. Those are the good times, the before times.
Before
Harambe died. Yeah. 2016, that was the catalyst.
The reason why I say modern is because it's after Zodiac and like the Green Mile killer and shit like that. So like modern forensics.
Speaking on the true crime thing, like I don't know if it's recent or if it's been a thing forever. We need to stop like idolizing serial killers.
This is Lily. This is something you're going to realize about America. America has fetishized violence since pretty much its inception. So whether it's through like any kind of violence, people they fucking love that shit.
Like I can't necessarily say a lot on the topic because yes, I do listen to like podcasts, or a podcast about.
Yeah, you listen to us.
Y'all don't talk about serial killers a lot.
No.
But like it's just Ted Bundy. The whole Ted Bundy situation really pisses me off. I'm sorry. He was like, a V-bug.
Mm-hmm.
There ain't no way you really picked up that many women in a fucking V-bug.
I mean, back in the day, it was very practical.
Yeah, back in the day, it was practical.
It's practically nonsense.
And I'm pretty sure some of those podcasts show that he was like on foot a lot of times because he was on college campuses.
And like, there's patterns to serial killers. How is nobody putting 2 and 2 together fast enough?
I mean, is given the time, and he was a white dude, so
yeah.
You know,
I think every single Ted Bundy critique, documentary, whatever, they always say the same thing, that he was a white male who was unassuming or was like attractive or whatever. No one suspected that a man that looked like him would commit heinous crimes. That's what gave him the opportunity to do what he did.
Look at today. I mean, we had fucking Kyle Rittenhouse murdered 2 people. Just 2 people, right? Shot another one.
Yeah, that's true.
Like, he literally, this dude, he just killed 2 people, and the cops don't even arrest him right away. They offered him water.
Mm-hmm.
And even after everything comes out, he still gets off after killing 2 people. Like, there's literally no consequences for this dude.
Like, there is a uncomfortably large population of my generation. What the fuck are you doing? Of my generation's women that are like, oh my god, Ted Bundy was so hot. What the fuck are you talking about?
Then now you get it. Like, this is why people like that can get away with it. They don't care.
That's what he did.
They don't care.
Wasn't hot. What? Second of all, he was so smart. He lost his own case.
Yeah.
Yeah, he did. However, given the fact that he was able to commit so many crimes and escape from jail, he wasn't a fucking slouch, that's for sure.
He was just a cocky murderer.
People think that. Yeah, I'm looking at his face now. He looks like an NPC.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. It's like,
I mean, he may not be attractive to you, but there were a sworn of women that were all about him. I mean, when he was arrested, do you know how many women claimed that he was their boyfriend across the country?
That's hilarious.
A lot.
Yeah, it was a lot.
Women. I'm sorry, but
still,
it's like, if I'm interested in someone and they're currently in a case of, hey, we think you're a serial killer, 100% of that infatuation is gone. What, like?
Yeah. Well, you're logical and rational. I mean, because
but not everybody's like that, especially when it comes to attraction.
Yeah,
that does not go on. I think that I kind of think, even though Cronus, I think, is right in overall generality, I think the case of Jack the Ripper is the one that kind of fascinated people about just serial killers, because he was the first. I think he's the first one that was notarized, or that had that notoriety to where people were like, "Oh my God, I can't. This guy could be any man, anywhere at any time," and it captivated an area and then the country.
Also, here's a kind of common theme when you're killing sex workers. There's less people caring, and then like when you fast forward to the one that was one of the most disturbing ones for me watching, I talked about it last year, was the Dahmer one, and he was just preying on Black and Asian and Latin
minority gay men,
in Milwaukee in the 90s, and everybody was looking the other way, even though the entire apartment building smelled like dead bodies. So
the thing with Jack the Ripper, there was a different serial killer in America that I think was H.H. Holmes. He this man made a murder factory. His story's wild. But right as Jack the Ripper's killing started was right when H.H. Holmes was leaving America.
Shit.
How have we not connected those dots?
I mean, there's a lot of. I mean, you listen to the podcast. Don't they break those down about why they got missed and evidence and people investigators squabbling about who, basically what it shoulda, coulda, and isms.
You got to invest more money into trying to prevent black guys from smoking weed. Come on, you can't.
You
can't stop these killers.
No.
Come on now.
That is to prevent lower interracial marriages and children, not about serial killing. That's what that was about. You get it mixed up. Yeah, you got it mixed up.
Forget about the murderers. What about that devil's lettuce?
Yeah, I mean,
look at them all happy and shit.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, you go jaywalking? Nah, straight to jail.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
So
15 years.
So speaking of,
caught.
this is a good little segue. About it's Black History Month. Tomorrow's the last day because it's leap year.
It's still Black History Month.
Which explaining to my 7-year-old is always interesting. Like, why is there an extra day? I'm like, well, because we're shitty at math. Anyway, we have the ability to have no leap years now because we have digital clocks.
Months.
Yeah, no, it's not, or we could just go by lunar. We could do this. Asian countries do this. Whatever. Anyway, for Black History Month, I decided to read a bunch of Black books during Black History Month, and I've made through actually quite a bit, like more than I thought I was going to. I listened to them, and actually just today I just finished like my last one. I'm not gonna do another one tomorrow because I'm not gonna finish a book tomorrow. So anyway, did you guys read any books or anything for Black History Month at all?
Not for Black History Month, no.
I mean, I know you guys are already, both you two are probably more well read than I am on the subject. So
I have some behind in my box somewhere though.
Shit, I'm trying to remember what I read in February. Keep going. It'll come
all right.
back.
So I'll read off a list of like what I've read for Black History Month or listened to. So I started with Where Do We Go From Here? It's part of the Legacy series, the King Legacy series for Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. He has it's a series of books that him and Coretta Scott King wrote about his legacy. So they're really excellent series. I went from that to Black as Fuck History, which is an excellent series for the modern era. It's like it's hilarious. It's like a real telling of American history through a black lens. Actually, it's a more truthful American history story, but it is through a black lens.
And that's Michael Harriot, right?
It is Michael Harriot. Sorry, I should give like the authors. Then I went to the Souls of Black Folk by W.E.B. Du Bois, which do not go from Black as Fuck History to the Souls of Black Folk. Like, don't do that. Because like one is like, it's a very serious subject, but it's kind of more lighthearted and it's in like modern terms. It's like going from it'd be like going from In Living Color to like Shakespeare.
Yeah, that's different.
Yeah. So it's like it's different. It's still really important, but it's different. From there, I went to The Grift by Clay Kane, which is great. It's about black conservatives grifting throughout history. Really great. Then I went to Why Does Everything Have to Be About Race by Keith Boykin. Great book. Then The 1619 Project, which was, I can see why all these conservatives were like trying to ban this book left and right and center. Because, yeah, it's another historically accurate telling of history that doesn't put America in like the greatest light.
If it's accurate, it's not going to.
Yeah, yeah. And then the book I just finished right before this podcast is the autobiography of Malcolm X. Yeah.
That's one of the few books I've read more than once.
Yeah, it's honestly, I can see why that dude was killed. And at the end of the book, he lays out exactly, he prophesies his own death at the end of the book.
Yeah,
which
he
is
really
insane.
does. He literally says they're coming for me, pretty much.
Yeah.
And Alex Haley, he says, I think they're coming for me. And like the book that I have, it has an epilogue by Alex Haley where he talks about his time with Malcolm X and up to his death. So,
yeah, that's actually one of the best books I've read in a while. Even though I think he's probably like one of the most misunderstood people, especially black people.
Oh yeah, for decades. Oh, and I should preface what I said about who Alex Haley is. If you don't know who he is the author of Roots and executive producer of the show Roots. He's written a few books, and he's known as a very prolific autobiographer. Malcolm X is one of them. I know he was working with Martin Luther King for a little bit, but I don't think he actually got the credit. He's worked with several other civil rights activists, including Dick Gregory and a few others.
Yeah. Well, I didn't know that he knew like all these like really famous people, like Dick Gregory
he was an autobiographer. He was putting in that work.
No. I mean like Malcolm X. Like he knew like a ton of famous people, and like like in his stories throughout history is just like this dude has basically an anime level story arc in his life.
Yep.
Like he came from fucking nothing. He came from the ghetto from nothing. His dad was killed by, white folks like I forget, it's like the black something, basically like a certain version of like the KKK that killed him, and then just like after he died. His family didn't get that much money from his life insurance. Like basically one life insurance policy didn't pay out. So he lived in poverty. He only went to school to like until the 8th grade. Then he basically became like a street urchin and a hustler for like a long time. Then, he got arrested, thrown in jail. And that's when he found the Nation of Islam. And from there on, like that's where his story kind of comes up. And he does like a lot of really great things, but also he disparages white America like a lot, and that's probably what most people hear is like the disparagement of white America. And it's like, well, I mean, if you go through like what he says, like it's hard to like dispute like what he says. And even like later on and like in his story arc where he has like a more worldview and he's not like so hating on every white person, it's still like what he says is still really valid. So, yeah, it's honestly, I recommend like pretty much anybody read that book, especially if you only heard about Malcolm X through like the media lens in America. Yeah, it's like read the book, especially if you haven't watched like X, like the movie from Spike Lee back in the day, which is interesting because it's like it's very close to his autobiography. There's like a few there's a few things where they just kind of like switch around a couple things, but it's still like the same basic story. So yeah.
Exactly. No, that's a great list. That's a great list, Carlos. I love it.
It's a huge list, but yeah, Malcolm X I've read that book a few times, and I know people that use that book in college classes across the country. So it's a very interesting book because it like, I want to say it's kind of like, it feels like an interview kind of between him and Alex, but like it's really him telling his story and like all the way from the beginning to like up until he was like they're coming for me type thing. And I think a lot of things changed for him when he went to the Middle East, when he went to Mecca. That was, everything changed for him. His worldview changed completely.
This is a great conversation, but the other huge aspect of his life in terms of just shaking him to his core was Elijah Muhammad was not so honorable.
We're
kind of glossing over that, but he had some Diddy level allegations, and those were legit.
Yeah, I mean, I think there are more than just allegations.
I mean, you're right. You're 100% right.
Because there was receipts. So
there
was children.
He was out here living that R. Kelly lifestyle, and it was all bad. And remember, this was the Malcolm's the leader of the church, the man who put him on. Gave him all. All of this stuff in terms of this knowledge and lifted him up and whatnot. And to know that someone who you revered so highly was a disgusting piece of shit.
That's all bad.
That'll rock your world.
I know a lot of people, especially like, are as they say in the 80s and 90s, our brothers out there in the streets with the honorable old ninja.
That's the name of this podcast.
So the man himself, he went from like he calls himself a street urchin, but he literally educated himself in prison. He basically got a college degree in prison, even though he doesn't really like. He kind of equates it to it, and he doesn't want. But he literally got himself a degree by educating himself through knowledge, asking questions, and he studied a lot. And then when he found the Nation of Islam, it gave him direction and purpose. And he started wearing suits, and he started appreciating the importance of other people's time, including his. And there's a part in the book where he said he didn't respect a man that did not wear a watch, because to him that showed that they did not value time in general and other people's time.
Yeah.
To me, that was a very. I mean, I don't like wearing watches, but I try to do my best to respect time, especially other people's time, because when they're waiting on you. Like, I know today I was late, but there were some issues where I couldn't get here on time.
We looking at you real suspect.
Yeah.
So, there are certain things that you can't. I mean, if people were having guns on the freeway, I can't like try to drive through that shit. Or if there's some naked person running through the street, I can't run them over.
You know what time this podcast starts. I'm just saying though.
Mm-hmm. and here's the thing: you tell GTA Trevor to chill out and just run through them. You know what I mean?
Damn. So that's all bad, but still, it's a great book. Definitely read that last book he was talking about. I haven't read the other ones.
The other ones are really good too. So
there you go.
For sure. Are we willing to wrap it up a little early? Unless there was a burning couple on there.
Yeah, there's a couple things I want to talk about. One thing I had to keep from like last week is that I have a thing in my hand right now that I didn't get to talk about.
Shit. Yeah.
So I got the PlayStation Portal.
Nice.
Which is great, but I feel kind of bad because my Wi-Fi in my house makes it pretty much unusable. So, but when it does work, it's fucking great. This is not an indictment of the Portal. It's my own fault because of my shitty ISP and my Wi-Fi in my house. So, but when it does work, I literally had to like take my PlayStation and like move it in like the hallway, and then I can get like better connectivity like playing this thing, because this is not a self-contained gaming device. It has to connect to your PS5. Okay, so don't buy this thinking that you can just fucking play this shit like anywhere you want without. It's a streaming device. That's the number one thing. It's a streaming device. That being said, this is the best fucking streaming device probably ever devised. The controllers. This is basically it is literally a DualSense controller cut in half. So, nice. And it feels just like a DualSense controller cut in half.
Does it rumble?
It rumbles. The exact same haptic feedback. It's exactly the same. So it is fantastic in your hand. So previously, like my favorite handheld was my Steam Deck because it felt for adult hands. Okay, but this one it's better than the Steam Deck as far as like the way it feels. And even the screen is better than a Steam Deck. I don't know if it's OLED. I'm pretty sure it's an OLED. But it's a bigger screen. Everything feels really fantastic in the hand. It's very high build quality. But right now, I can't really play it that often because of my fucking Wi-Fi. And I have like a slower upload speed that I talked about previously. So it's definitely, this is worth getting if the Wi-Fi in your home is up to speed. If you have like a kind of a subpar Wi-Fi or subpar ISP, like, don't even fucking bother, to be honest.
No, that's good shit.
I've
heard nothing but great things, and I heard that there were some shortages, but they seem to have fixed that now.
Yeah, I got mine directly through PlayStation. But yeah, for like a long time, it's basically like trying to get a PS5 in 2020 at this point. Yeah. But it is, like I said, if you understand the restrictions for it, it's worth getting. And the fact that it's sold out like for like months tells me that there's going to be a new PlayStation handheld that's like fully fledged coming soon within the next probably 3-4 years.
Hey, there we go.
And I'll pick it up. I'll pick it up.
Yeah.
Quick question.
Go ahead.
Has anybody seen Hazbin Hotel yet?
I haven't yet. I've been watching other things, but I know you recommended it. I definitely want to check it out.
I will say I recommended it and then watched episode 4. It's a great episode. Just there's like a lot of trigger warnings you actually got to pay attention to.
Okay.
Because it deals with some really, really dark shit with like sex workers and stuff.
Oh.
That's on Amazon. That's on Amazon, right? Because because I had early access to it, but I didn't watch it.
It has like Keith David in it and Alex Brightman and what's that chick from Brooklyn Nine-Nine?
Which one? There's a few.
Always wears the leather jacket.
Oh, I know you're talking about.
Oh, she's in the. I know you're talking about. She's the one in the heavy metal or whatever, or Twisted Metal. Sorry, she's in Twisted Metal. Yeah, I can't remember. I can't think of her name, but
I will tell you in a second. Her name is Stephanie Beatrice. I'm sorry, it is Beatrice, right? Beatrice? Yeah, that's Beatrice.
Sure.
Yeah.
We'll go with that.
It's spelled oddly.
Got a really good lineup of voice actors, and it does have like musical numbers and stuff.
Ooh.
But it actually like forwards the plot with the musical numbers. So
seriously? Ooh. I'm sorry. I have issues with musical numbers. So yeah.
It's basically just a show about Lucifer and Lilith. They have a daughter together named Charlie, and Charlie's trying to start a hotel to rehabilitate sinners to save them all from execution. Because obviously, like, hell's forever, but they having kind of set up this program where once a year a bunch of exorcist angels will come down to hell and start exorcising sinners.
Okay.
So Charlie's trying to save them all from execution with her hotel, and it's not going well. So
I'll check it out because I know that was on my list. So yeah, because like what was it? Something else came out. Oh, it was Mr. and Mrs. Smith. That's one of the ones that earlier soon I checked out. So
I just watched the first 3 episodes of that show.
What did you think?
So it was not what I was expecting.
It
was like, it was way different. Like, okay, for those of you who've ever seen the show Atlanta, it's kind of like, imagine a pie, right? And in the pie, it's like you sprinkle in, you add in a little bit of Atlanta, a little bit of like James Bond, and like a little bit of like romantic comedy kind of shit, and you kind of bake it together. Like it felt like it was like an awkward romantic comedy kind of thing, but they're killing people. There's explosions and shit, but it feels like it fits in the world of Atlanta. It's very strange because it's like these two people, they're like apparently government workers, but they don't know what they're really supposed to do when they're paired together. They have to like kind of improvise, and they're not very good at espionage.
I mean, they're sort of good.
They're not very good.
I guess
they're
they end up
kind of
like
sloppy.
not as good. Yeah. Okay.
I mean, based off my first 3 episodes, it's a little sloppy. It's a little sloppy, to be honest. I mean, they literally within the first 3 episodes they have a major oops, and there's some actually really good guest stars so far, like the ever amazing John Turturro does an amazing job as a very strange, very rich like Diddy.
You know what's funny is that John Turturro gave Childish Gambino COVID.
Oh,
So that has shut down recording for like a couple of weeks.
Damn, that sucks because that episode with him was like super wild.
That shit was hilarious.
It was very strange. Yeah, it was. That's the thing. It was hilarious, but it was wild at the same time. And like the thing was is that it brings the two people. It brings John and Jane, the two main characters. It brings them a little closer together. Yeah. It was very weird because they're in a very fucked up situation. But I literally feel like not Vern himself, but like a version of Vern if he went to the army is in the show. Vern from Atlanta. So it just because Donald Glover, he's a executive producer, so it has like kind of Atlanta kind of feel where like some weird shit will pop off. So far, at least so far, I'm only 3 episodes in. But it's still kind of like it's off-putting. That's the best way I can just say it. But it's still good in a weird way.
Yeah.
So I do plan on watching more. It's only 8 episodes, so I plan on finishing it.
And that one's on Amazon, right?
It is on Amazon.
Yeah, it's on Prime. So it's just it's weird to me seeing Donald Glover being like going from comedian to him shooting people in the face.
Also, he's an asthmatic, which is funny in the show.
Yeah, he is. Well, so I saw the evidence of it. I have not seen the repercussions of it yet.
Oh, you'll see.
So,
there's like
they made a big point to show because when you meet the characters, you know very little to almost nothing about them.
Yeah,
there's a scene where you see like his effects, and one of them is an inhaler. I'm like, what the fuck? So
one of the final episodes.
So far.
One of the final episodes. There's like a hilarious part where they make fun of his asthma, and you'll.
Oh my god!
I was fucking rolling. Yeah.
Damn. Well, to me, there's a part like there's a farting scene that was.
Oh my god! Yes, that was like.
Oh my god!
That shit.
Like,
yeah. Yeah.
Oh, that was fucking good. It's definitely worth a watch, especially if you like quirky like stuff. It's quirky. It does have like romantic comedy, but in a very weird way. And there's definitely action. Like people die, like in some cases, very fucked up ways. So
yeah.
So far, so it's definitely an interesting show. I recommend it as well, just as much as Kronos did. I'm not even done. I'm probably gonna finish it next week.
All right.
So.
Well, Prodigy's got to roll and I got to edit. So.
All right, yeah. Let's wrap it up. Lily, you take us away. What you got happening this week? God damn
it. The Motor City Tattoo Expo's this weekend, so I'm gonna hit that up.
Oh shit! Wait. Are you getting one? Or are you just gonna go see?
It depends. Because my tattoo artist is there, and I asked him if I could get I wanted to get Yggdrasil tattooed. But it'd be like it's the world tree in Norse mythology.
Oh, okay, there you go.
Oh, you didn't know? Have you not played God of War?
I played Ragnarok in a while. So I'm like, dude, why have I've heard it. I've literally heard that in like the last, at least 3 times in the last 4 weeks. So.
Like, I'm definitely getting Ratatasker. That's like one of my favorite Norse creatures is Ratatasker. He's hilarious. But I wanted to get Yggdrasil. It's going to be a massive tattoo. But he was like, it cost me $2,000 just to be here.
Damn.
And I was like, so you available any other day? So it depends on, if Adam isn't doing anything, I'll probably get something small or probably get a new piercing. I definitely need some new jewelry. So besides that, I don't think I have much else going on this week besides just work.
You better stay away from them raccoons and possums, though.
As long as they stay away from me, I got an orc sword.
There you go.
Oh, is that? I heard her.
Yeah,
I heard that.
Yeah.
Of course, she heard Lily. And...
Go ass out.
Mishka says hi, Lily.
Uh-huh.
Hi. I couldn't hear. I just heard noise in the background.
I got the headphones on.
She said, Mishka says she's reading Hooked.
I haven't finished it. I swear to God.
Y'all gonna have to talk offline. We're trying to end this podcast. What the heck? All right. Kronos, what you got popping?
So it was actually really cool to see Lily in person. Surprise, over the weekend. Even though it was under very unfortunate circumstances, my brother-in-law passed away and she came out for her celebration of life. And so she didn't tell me she was coming out, and I thought she was mad at me, which she was, but it's okay. It's offline stuff. And yeah, she surprised me being there, and it was really good to see her again.
Surprise shit.
Yeah, you're really good. You're an expert at this point. So I'm gonna come out to Michigan hopefully sometime this year. I am gonna come out sometime this year, even though I don't like Michigan, but I do love you. So
if
you need to go to 8 Mile.
Yeah.
I am not taking him to that part of Michigan.
I'm taking you to that part of Michigan.
Huh?
I said I'm taking you to that part of Michigan.
No. I don't like going downriver for a reason. Probably around August or September would be the best because that's or August through September is Renfest. So,
I mean,
the Renfest up here is really cool.
Well, I do what I want. I'm just saying.
I'm just making a suggestion.
I'm gonna come to your job and surprise you.
Ooh.
Oh shit.
Oh boy.
If you knew the company name.
Shit.
She acts like I can't figure shit out. Like I'm just some old fuddy-duddy. Like I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. Like, come on, man.
Use the interwebs.
Yeah, I'll use the internet. I'll figure it
out. Old Ninja, what you got popping?
Well, here's saying my brothers and sisters on Hearsay podcast. The Honorable Old Ninja says that this weekend I'll be seeing the Giant Worms in Sand Part 2 this weekend.
Yes.
Yeah, Dune Part 2 will be out this weekend. It's also it's my cousin's birthday, one of my closer cousins. He really wants to see it, so we're going to go out and go see this. Shout out to B-Boy Frost again. Going to be playing some of the Suicide Squad that Project be hating on, but we're having fun. He mad because we're having fun on it.
It is a fun game. It just could have been better.
Yeah, it's fun. He's mad because we having fun. It's fine. Let him hate in his corner while he licks his lollipop or tries to get on the Helldivers 2 server. Anyway, I'll be playing that. I'll be watching more of the stuff like Halo's out tonight. I'll be watching some Bad Batch because the final season's coming out, and I will eventually watch more Mr. and Mrs. Smith. I might finish it, probably not though. It's kind of a lot. I think other than that, yeah, that's it for me.
All right, what I got, I just wanted to make one quick recommendation. Speaking of like Atlanta, FX Atlanta like series on Netflix, they got this show called The Vince Staples Show. This shit is wild. It's a hold on, god damn it, my family's talking. Hold on.
Hey, you told to keep it down. Why you gotta be loud and black? I'm just saying.
Damn, naysayer.
But it's a the Vince Staples Show is a West Coast Atlanta like series. It's bank robberies. It's going to Disneyland like areas. There's shootouts. It's just fun Atlanta like stuff. Kenya Barris, the guy who did Blackish, is the executive producer or whatever. But it just works. I think this guy is a comedian or a rapper or both, and he's funny. He's just hilarious. So I really enjoyed that one. There's only 5 episodes. Remember on the Coming to America woman, Coming to America movie, the woman who said, or Eddie said, bark like a dog?
Yeah.
Yeah.
She plays an off-the-hook mama in this.
Oh,
a real
okay.
She's in both of them. She's in the sequel and the original.
She's still pretty hilarious. So
if you don't know his music, like there's a song called Bag Back. Like it's a really cool song by him. That's the only song that I know by him. But I need to listen to more because I found him when I was going to Laguna's retirement for the Marine Corps. From the Marine Corps anyway. But yeah, I heard one of his songs and it's on my heavy rotation. So
nice.
So
I know listen to more.
Is Man's Not Hot?
Is Man's Not Hot?
Is Man's Not Hot?
Sir, what are you talking about?
You don't know Roadman Shack? We'll talk about it later.
All right.
Next week, Roadman Shack.
All right. Ninja. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's all I got. Other than I'm finally playing Spider-Man 2, so I'm enjoying that.
Oh shit! So, you just started
that old shit. Like he's got an important job or some shit.
Yeah. I'm only 5 months late on everything. So it's all
you
good.
act like you naysayer rich now, I guess.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, and catch me on Helldivers. I got to get my Starship Troopers on.
Hey, you heard it. Hey, where you at, Stitch? You heard it here. He just said it right now. Watch him not buy it. Watch him not do. He won't. I'm
gonna get that on Friday. That's gonna be my new crack.
You're gonna have to finding the physical copy is hard. So you might have to end up downloading it.
Yeah, I might just have to pull the trigger on buying it on PlayStation, but we'll see. All right, kick us out, old ninja.
All right, you just been enlightened by Black and Black Times Infinity,
the honorable Black and Black Times Infinity,
the Blackest podcast, the Dankest podcast on the internet. I don't want to be that way and be like Black podcast.
Yeah, we're not the Blackest podcast, but
yeah, we're not the Blackest. But you can check us out anywhere and everywhere with Beathen BTI. That's BTHANBTI. Anywhere you consume your podcast or listen to them. If you didn't know, if you listen to us via audio, we go live every Wednesday, 8:30 Pacific-ish time. You can catch us live. You can watch us live, and then you can chat in the comments, ask us questions and whatnot every Wednesday. Check out our official website, binheadproductions.com/BeatingBTI. Email us, beatingbti@gmail.com. And we have a Discord if you want to get super, I don't know, if you have some dankness that you want to discuss or topics you wish that we cover or talk about, let us know. Join the Discord, be a part of the discussion, even further discussion. There you go.
Just saying, we can't be the blackest because there's only one like dark skinned dude on here, but also, one drop. I'm just saying the one drop rule. So we all got one drop.
I get it.
We're good. Blackest one ever.
Yeah, but the most honorable. I think we might be able to take that.
Oh, Lily, do you get the one drop thing? No. Okay, I'll explain it to you later. It's all good. Like I said,
we'll do that.
Just saying.
Do that also. All right, y'all.
All right, thanks everybody. Later.
All right.